type it all out. You can. It's hard to get context and emotion through text. You know what I mean, Rusty? So we'd be able to hear the passion in your voice if you ended up calling in. And I would definitely take a break from Call of Duty right now to take that phone call. Vino, I got to take a break real quick. I'm getting off of Call of Duty.
I just closed out your stream. Can you hear me now?
I could definitely hear you now. Let me give me 1 second. Let me pump up the audio on my end so they can hear you a little bit better as well. What I want you to do really quick is just introduce yourself with maybe like a 10-second introduction. Don't give your location, only give information you want. I'm gonna pump up my volume really quick just to make sure the stream can hear you.
I'm a Berks County fool in PA, and I got some opinions on some shit.
So, caller, man, welcome. You have the line. It is open to you. Let's voice some opinions, bud.
But it was campaign speeches.
Okay, and what rule?
Okay, it was. I think it was during the debate in 2016, 2015.
Hashtag what the fuck.
And Hillary was sort of bashing Trump about the billionaires taking advantage of the system, and he said, "Well, you've been there for how long? Change the system."
Ah, okay. Now I know exactly what you're talking about. That was a good bet that she made with him.
In my opinion, I don't think Trump is the biggest bullshitter on the planet.
I
think he's a bit of a straight shooter, good or bad, whether you like him or not. I think that's what he is.
And that's a good opinion to have. And many others in the country and around the globe believe that as well. Do I share that same opinion? Yeah, it's the truth. No matter how hard it is to swallow it, at least he is shooting from the hip.
Yeah, I appreciate him because there's a lot of shit he says that maybe I don't agree with, but at least he's saying it. He's not sugarcoating. He's not bullshitting. He's come out and saying it. You can tell what the guy thinks.
His body language is quite straightforward. The only thing I have on that is, and this is the sad part about this fact, is that we might only get that straight bullshit, or I should say the straight shooting, for 4 years. You know what I mean? Then who's to say all of this work that he did, just like when Joe Biden came into the presidency, he just, with executive orders, unwrote it all, just like Trump's unwriting what Joe Biden did. So that's why I try not to pick sides on the left or the right, and I view it, I'm not going to say center, but from above, because it's a really hard thing to put these things into place permanently. You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree with you. We tried to wreck this freaking place, and someone had to fix it.
Not only did we try, but we did a damn good job getting it there. I'll tell you that much. It's like a train derailment just went into a herd of cows, and now there's blood all over the place.
I don't fall in love with politicians. I never freaking liked Donald Trump. I'm a fairly old person, and I've watched him for many decades. And I, be honest with you, I couldn't stand the son of a bitch. But I think he's got his finger on the pulse of what people want to hear, what people want to see, what people want done. And I think so far what I've seen is he's following through on it.
And so far so good. Like I said, the only thing that I worry about when it came, Arizona Charlie just said, "Good job." Well said, Rusty River. Well, I thank you so much for calling, man. I just want to let you know that you are my first caller and my first guest on Midnight in the Mountains. My heart's racing right now with so much joy and excitement that this is happening. So again, thank you so much for calling in. You're more than welcome to stay on the phone as well for as long as you want. If you have other opinions, please voice them, because my channel is truly based about having these opinions hit the air with someone who's not just going to berate you on the other side of the phone, right? So I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if my first caller was someone who loved Hillary or Joe Biden and want to get their points across. But what I try to do is form my opinions through logic and fact. There's not going to be any lying or bullshit or berating ever. So I hope you do come back to the stream more often as I get popular. And it's very difficult. The whole reason I made this channel is just to bring this substance out to light and to give people the opportunity to speak. Because from what I've seen, and especially in like our physical reality at this point, is that no one knows how to speak across the aisle anymore. And I just want to have that space to have these people be able to do so. My next step in this is to have a long form podcast get started. Now, as you could tell with my overlay, I don't know if you're familiar. You said you are a little bit older. If you're familiar with Art Bell or Coast to Coast AM and Desert in the Mountain or Midnight in the Desert, but if you don't know who Art Bell is, I would definitely suggest you look into him. He has amazing guests. I'm kind of carbon copying that footprint as well from him because he is no longer with us. So his format brought opinion and logic and fantasy and mythology all under one roof. And since his passing, he's put me to sleep many times at night. And I want to show my children who are sitting right next to me, watching and listening to what we're doing, that it is okay to have those opinions. So, again, you coming on and sharing one of yours is amazing to me right now. And not only are you teaching me, you're teaching the next generation live.